We're good. We're good. Okay, this is it. We're live. Okay, cool. We're back. Okay.
We are back.
Yeah. It's usually not like this. It's usually okay. Sorry. Okay, we're back, guys. We have
Special guest.
Special guest. It's my mother, everyone. Rolande Phillips is here. Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me, Martin.
Of course. You know, like a month ago, JD's dad was in town, and he didn't get to do this, so...
No.
And he wanted to meet me. He was so excited.
He was excited to
when
meet
he
you.
met me. It was like one of his top things to do, so... If he listens to this, you might be jealous.
You were the only person he smiled at.
Oh, yeah.
That whole...
So if people want to meet me, I guess, they have a reputation. So,
Yeah, that I don't need to know about
Yeah.
because
yeah.
I can tell him a few other things.
Okay, well, anyway. I'm just saying, if her dad listens to this, you might get jealous. We don't have him on, so...
Well, he'll be back at some point.
Yeah,
You can
well,
go back on.
yeah, well-
Has your mom been on any of your other...
That's the other one before.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we did that at my house. That was for Mother's
that
Day.
was when I lived at your house.
That's true.
That's why I was there. And,
Okay.
Yeah. But the other one's way more loose. This one, at least we have a topic. We did the other one last night, and it was just like, if I could eat a whole pizza, and I couldn't. It was funny, right?
He also couldn't eat a pizza and keep a podcast going. It was just
Yeah.
Charlie by himself as Martin chewed
Martin's
for an hour.
really into visual tricks on
Good.
a listening medium.
I suspect he's on video, on visual tricks, even when you can see him. So
Yeah. But anyway, I got my mom's here, everyone. And we're gonna do the movie. There's no reason behind it, but you got mail, everyone. Yeah,
I feel like that's a good classic.
yeah. What number of times was this? You've seen it? You told me.
well, I saw it once when it came out. And the big draw for that was because it was Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks. And I hadn't realized how long ago it was until I saw how young Tom Hanks has been. I've seen a lot of his movies. He's a really good actor. Anyway, that was back when Meg Ryan was, America's Sweetheart. She and Dennis Quaid were still together and all of those things. And so it was a great movie. And so I saw it when it originally came out. And I guess maybe sometime I saw it a second time. It must have been on TV and I had nothing else to do. And I liked this movie. Oh, this is a cute movie. I can watch this. And then I watched it again just to remind myself what it was about when
happened.
Martin said
Yeah.
we were going to. So I've actually seen it three times.
Yeah.
I told her about Dennis Quaid, how he's like in his 60s and his wife is like 28. So
His girlfriends / wives have remained the same age
Yeah,
as he
yeah,
ages.
so he's a
That's
cool,
sad to know, but that's marriage number 4.
Yeah.
And
he's,
so
cool, he's a cool guy.
Wait, that's in real life? That's his
Real life,
partner?
it
Oh, wow.
is.
Yeah.
It's
real
very-
life.
yeah.
When Meg Ryan, went and starred in this movie, and I don't remember, but it was in Australia, and that was when Russell Crowe was coming out. And so she had this kind of affair with Russell Crowe. So she came home and she said, "I'm really sorry." And Dennis Quaid said, "I don't care," and turned his back on her and left. And they got a
Dude.
divorce. And then he got remarried, and they had twins. And but there was something went wrong at the hospital, and the doctors or nurse, somebody was not there, and he ended up suing the hospital, and it went on. Anyway, that marriage broke up, and we went on to marriage number 3, and now I find out about this 28-year-old. So I'm going, oh my goodness, to me that's just really sad.
Yeah,
It
it's
is.
cool. It's cool.
Is this early 2000s you got mail? Or is it 90s?
1998.
98.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
A good year.
We got that celebrity gossip on the show. Everything you want to know about Dennis Quaid, we'll let you know.
Also, that was the year The Parent Trap came out.
We did the Parent Trap recently also.
I
and
saw
Dennis
the-
Quaid. Dennis
Dennis Quaid was in that one
Another-
too, but I saw the
another-
original one. I was a little girl, but I did see the original one
Yeah.
with Haley Mills.
Yeah.
I like both a lot.
Yeah.
I think they both hold up pretty well. I've actually seen both of them recently.
Yeah, man.
They're on Disney Plus.
Yeah. Okay, anyway, you got that. It's actually you, but it's not you. It's you, apostrophe E. And I think both me and Jenny didn't like it.
I liked it.
You say, oh, okay, yeah, I read your notes. You're like, yeah, I don't like
I mean, I love a good enemies to lovers like trope. You know,
Okay, well,
it's probably my favorite
yeah, I
trope.
didn't like it.
I
then.
do. It was I like. I don't like. I hate when Pride and Prejudice is like referenced in movies, though. That's like kind of a. I feel it's like it's very overdone. Yeah, it's really overdone. But yeah, I did like. I mean, like I really like. Obviously, love Meg Ryan. Like I would watch anything she's in. So
Well, what she and Tom Hanks were in another one too
They've
about
done-
New Year's Eve meeting up at the top of the Empire State
Sleepless
Building.
in Seattle.
yeah,
It's that.
Sleepless in Seattle. That was it.
Then
Yeah.
they did Joe versus the volcano.
That I didn't see.
Well, it's a movie, yeah. Yeah.
they're Meg Ryan's son is like about your age.
Yeah, so Meg Ryan does great have a son. I think he's the same age as Dennis Quaid's current wife. I think he's like 29 or something. And he's on a TV show, but you haven't watched it.
He's in Scream.
Yeah, he's in
Yeah.
the TV show called The Boys.
Yeah.
He's like a main character, but you wouldn't you haven't seen it.
The Boys is very good.
Yeah, I'm not really thinking about Marvel like this. It's got a vulgar. You wouldn't.
My parents like it.
Yeah, well.
It's
I
good.
did have I had problems with You've Got Mail, and I think it's because I'm getting too old. You know, I can't just watch it and just say, okay, this is a movie and this doesn't make sense. But you know, I find these two people who are in a chat room, or I guess that's Martin's explained. That's how they met. So now they don't know who each other is, so they're emailing them each other back and forth and sharing their souls and and all of those things. But here's the problem that I have with it, because she is living with what's his name? I should know what his name
It
is.
was Greg Kinnear.
Greg.
Yeah.
She's living with Greg Kinnear. So that's okay. So they have this, and then Tom Hanks, who's tremendously wealthy, and he's living with his girlfriend, and yet they are sort of having a relationship, an
Yeah.
emotional relationship outside of the other significant others that the significant others are not part of. They don't even know that. So you see them, they're real secretive with getting out their computers and typing and what do you think and what do you think, what do you think? And I thought, okay, this is not exactly being a very honest in a relationship that you
Yeah,
have.
this was like kind of before, like this was like right when you could actually have an affair on the internet. Like this is
Right.
Secretly.
So
we-
maybe that's what made me think of it, because at that time when I first watched it, I didn't think anything. You'd think that they were just friends, except in reality, they're keeping that friendship quite secret.
Yeah,
You know?
and they're like more than friends too, and they're trying to like meet up. And
Yeah, they meet up with each other.
But not only that, but Tom Hanks, take a look at it. His father's been married a gazillion times and he keeps marrying. Remember, he takes these two little kids. One is his aunt and the other one is his great uncle, because one of them is a child fathered by his father and they're little. And the other one is a child fathered by his grandfather. So, I mean, to me, he does not have good role models of what it would be like to be.
yeah, I feel like that wasn't really explored as much.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I thought they were just like his sister's kids or something. I guess I wasn't paying attention.
Well, in the bookstore scene, like when they go in to buy the children's books, the little girl is like, "I'm his aunt."
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But-
So you got that, and I was going, okay. So, and he's tremendously wealthy, and she is not wealthy at all.
Yeah.
You know, she's just a good town home girl. And so, the prince and the pauper type of thing,
Exactly.
And that also makes for great romance.
I know,
Rich marries poor.
love it.
That's what I've been trying. I've been trying to do that my whole life. I've been trying to look for the rich here. That's my story I want to happen. So I got to keep working at it or something. But anyway, so I guess we haven't really explained that Meg Ryan works in a small bookshop that's been in her family for like 50 years. And Tom Hanks essentially like works at like Barnes and Noble, I guess. Like
He's
a
the
big,
heir
big-
of Barnes
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Noble.
And he opens up. He builds. It's a box store,
Yeah.
a chain. But that's what he does. He makes money, and he tries to convince her this isn't personal. This is business.
yeah.
Good luck with that.
Well,
Yeah.
I think he does convince her. I think she's kind of like, okay, because she doesn't really do much after, her store closes.
So you didn't like the movie.
I'm just saying, like, when she had an issue, like, she still ends up with Tom Hanks, but it's like, this guy is really about your family and business, this out of business. Like,
Yeah, I think it's kind of interesting in this movie because he doesn't really have like a redemption arc.
Yeah.
She just becomes okay with it.
Yeah, basically, yeah. It was like,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, nothing happens. She was like, okay, I guess you did that. And
But I do think they try and do the like, oh, he's really a softie. He's got like the cute dog. Like he's like sweet with his like he's good with kids and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But it's like, yeah, but he also still he is doing what like
Yeah, he's
she
big
thought
business.
he was doing, which is like, yeah.
yeah, it's like capitalism
Yeah.
wins. It's all this movie. Yeah,
Yes and no.
Oh,
It
okay.
also, I agree with you. It is capitalism win, but it's also a woman succumbing to the more powerful man.
Yeah.
And is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, one would usually say it's a bad thing.
Yeah, I
but-
just want to know where.
It's not.
my-
It's not as if she had any choices about her bookstore. He was going to buy her out one way or the other. So she
Okay.
didn't have any choices about that, which is sad because I think there is a place in the world, even today in 2022, for your family type. That's what do we have it after Thanksgiving? We have Black Friday, we have Cyber Monday, and is it on Saturday that we buy local?
Yeah,
Give
buy
in
local.
Tuesday or-
You get, where
Oh,
every
small business
Yeah,
Saturday.
small business
yeah.
Saturday.
yeah, and
Yeah,
so
yeah.
go to see your small and buy locally, and that's what the whole idea behind farmers markets are in the summertime and things like that. Buy locally, and that's what this store is. And they have absolutely Tom Hanks has and his family has absolutely no concept of what that is, and so I don't know if it would have been nice, but just like many other small business local owners, they've all been bought out by, the big things. And so she acquiesces to that. And how does the movie end? They're kissing.
Yeah.
But he's also rich, so that might help, I guess. Right? But anyhow, yeah, I don't know. But
If you're rich and a jerk,
I didn't think he was that big of a jerk. I think
I thought he was a jerk. Like I didn't really think, like I said, I didn't really think they did much to like give him much redemption,
he was so like a nice guy,
I don't think he wanted to have redemption, though.
Yeah, I know. He
I
didn't
read
think
the-
he was doing anything
No,
wrong.
this is business. It's not personal.
Yeah.
Well,
It's business. Great story. I hope in real life that works for you, but
Yeah.
Well, I think he had enough money. He could have just bought her bookstore, and then he could have just reopened it, and that would have been a better ending. Right?
well, nobody was going to her bookstore. They were all
But
going to
if
his
you
now.
bought it, he owns it anyway. He has the money just to
That's
keep it
true.
running. So yeah, it would have been a nice ending if you bought it.
I don't think she would have accepted that, though.
Why?
It's a family business.
Yeah, it's
I-
more
you know?
of I think it's more of the fact that like
She remembered
it's
her
connected to her
mother.
mother. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's much more of she remembers like the books her mother would give her and share with her and like
You'd see them twirling,
yeah.
and
Well, I guess it's just the sad reality then of corporate America. Right?
So wait, why did they start emailing? What happened?
I don't know.
They met in a over 30s chat room.
Yeah.
Oh, so it was like a singles thing.
so and that's why I didn't catch up on that. I don't know how they met.
Yeah, it was just like an over 30s chat room. So clearly both of them were had a wandering
Right. In 98, right? That's when this came out?
Yeah.
I don't think what the internet was at 98. Like,
Because I think that was why, I think that's part of the reason why this is like portrayed more as this like, like romance type thing. And now I don't think the same plot line, because it's like we have known and seen that like people have these affairs, but this was like new, because this was like people are just first getting email and exploring the internet. So
it's called You Got Mail. So,
now we view it more as we know it can be like the internet could be like a sinister place for so many reasons, but then it's just like this brand new
innocent internet.
It was dial-up back then too. So they had
It was what?
dial-up. We didn't have what, like you couldn't use your phone.
It made the noise, right? It was
Yeah, we had the noise, right? Yeah, so but yeah, they actually
had that at my house like forever.
Yeah,
I really had to get angry with my husband. He doesn't listen to this podcast, so I can do that.
Right. Again.
I hope I doesn't. I really almost had to get angry for us to, get on. And once we did it, which was what, in 2004, maybe? Something like that. I'm telling you, I wasn't even home for the weekend, and they were calling me and saying, "This is the coolest thing ever."
My dad was a computer programmer, so we had the first of everything.
Oh,
yeah. He was like, "There's this." Well, I was too young to like have any idea what was going on. I was like a toddler, but he was like, "There's this thing called Wi-Fi, and we're gonna get it."
I had an older sister was like that. She started getting computers long before anybody else had computers, And I just remember being in the when I was still in the Air Force, and they were looking for people to learn about computers, because then you could work in IT, And I thought, that will never happen. I will never learn how to use computers, and I do not want to do that. I don't want to have that job. Those jobs are for other people, not for me. I will never use a computer. Who knew that it was a wave of the future?
Well,
you got a computer in your pocket.
I got your phone. So,
in fact, I was so proud of myself, because usually what I don't know how to do, I have to ask one of my kids, neither of whom enjoy helping me. So yesterday, when when I was I made a reservation, say the Embassy Suites, and they say, "Okay, you can do this on your phone," and I was going, "Oh no, can I do this?" So I figured I'd download the app and learn how to do everything all by myself, and so I was quite proud of myself.
All right. All right. You should be some more supportive.
No, I'm fine. No, I don't think
this is what Martin is. Martin, can you help me with this? I showed you how to do this 2 years ago.
Okay.
Really? Is that what he says?
Yes.
Okay. I don't think I go like that.
Well, anyway. No, but it says, I've already shown you how to do this.
I did, yeah.
Since he doesn't live at home, it has been a while since he has shown me.
Okay, well, I don't know. Like, once I figure out how to do something, I remember how to do it. I don't know.
Wow.
Okay. My mom doesn't like my driving also. Today that was a big issue.
Today
That was a big issue today. How I drive in the city.
What happened?
We just had to drive around. We went in different
Pretend this is a bumper. Pretend this is the front bumper of your car, and we're not slowing down. I'm going.
Okay. Well, I thought it was fine. So, and also, and you remember when you asked me, you're like, who would play tennis with you? Oh, you're looking at her right here.
That was me.
When I sprained my foot.
I said multiple times, hey, I said at least twice, hey, can you not dive into the concrete? Can you just miss? It makes me really nervous when you do that. And then... And
I was getting the ball.
Yeah, I was just like, just miss it. Like,
well, I had passion for it. So.
You ever hit the ball back?
Yeah, we hit the ball back.
Yeah.
We
were getting ready to wrap it up when the injury occurred. We were approaching an hour.
Yeah, it was pretty hot, but I got out there for an hour. But Jenny is the only one I played with where I got injured, though. So
yeah,
a lot of people think it's her fault, but.
Did you get urgent care or something right away?
No, I iced it, and that it swelled up, and then it really hurt to walk.
Well, he looked fine on the court, and he could walk normally. So I was like, well, why don't you just like ice it, and then if it blows up, like go to urgent care.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if I would have done that, and Jenny didn't say it. I probably would have just been like, it'll get better. I guess I was waiting for it to.
I was like, if it
Either
starts,
that or he would have called me. Okay, Mom, what should I do?
it's like if it starts to swell rapidly, then
Yeah, I
you
guess.
probably need to go.
Yeah, pretty big. But anyway, that's who I was playing that day. That might be my last opponent because the doctor said I probably should not play tennis anytime soon. So, anyway,
Sounds like a smart guy. Although I'm the one who bought him the tennis racket. I wasn't sure what he was going to do with it.
it was a cool hobby to have. Okay.
It is a cool hobby to have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe like less passion next time.
All of my friends, when I told them, I said, put a visual on this. Martin sprained his foot playing tennis, and they're just going, Martin plays tennis? I was going,
Okay, I don't know who you're talking to, but I'm pretty athletic, somewhat. So
It was also like the hottest day of the year
it
so
was-
far.
Yeah, it was super hot. Nobody was out
It
there.
was miserably hot.
Yeah, it was pretty gross, but
It was also funny too because some guy who works for like the Parks and Recreation Department had come by on a radio, and I heard him say like about somebody injured somewhere, like there's blood everywhere, and then that was when I was like, Martin, can you not dive into the concrete? Like,
okay, it only felt like once before. It's very
you
my
were
foot.
like. It felt like you were single-minded to the point of self-destruction to like get to the tennis
Well,
ball.
I don't know. If you could have hit it closer to me, I guess.
I was just playing tennis. You were not hitting it close to me either.
Okay, fair, I guess. We were both not very good. But we hit at least 4 times back and forth, and it's pretty good in our book. So it's an improvement. It's a work in progress. But,
oh, that's good.
yeah.
I like watching good tennis.
Well, this wasn't good tennis, but it was tennis still.
Yeah.
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 Well,
Anyway, that's how I was gonna say I'm driving.
In fact, that must be what you did to your arm.
Okay. Yeah, I guess.
He tried to tell me that it was a sunburn.
Well,
Just
it's
a
like-
circle sunburn.
very obvious bruise.
I'm thinking, now that I think of it, if you fell on the concrete, that would do it.
I don't know.
Looks like a bruise.
I guess.
Bite from something, maybe even.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, that's what my bruises look like.
Oh, really?
Pink. Yeah.
What, hit you with a golf ball, buddy?
I don't know. I don't know why we're an exam.
Does it hurt?
Here, wait, take your shirt off. Get up on the table.
Oh, it doesn't hurt that much. I fell last night during my show. No.
Oh, I saw something about that.
No, because that was Joe Biden. So
He got a
he
bike.
he falls. Yeah, and you see that bike at my house, that little pink bike. Did you notice that?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I wrote that as Joe Biden because he fell off his bike. So I got out there. And
That's really funny.
Martin, you can't ride a bike.
And you didn't notice the training wheels on. It's a bike for a 3-year-old. It's a pink bike.
Right.
That's really funny.
Yeah. Do you think does Suzanne's children need a bike? Because I have a children's bike.
How'd you get a children's bike?
Facebook Marketplace. They sold it to me for like $15. I was like, yeah, it's not a heavier than you think it is.
Well, you should definitely regift it.
Yeah, we
You
get.
did. Here's a problem with Suzanne. They got a bike for Savannah. Savannah has special needs, and she can't even ride the big wheels because it's too scary for her.
Yeah, it's training wheels.
The other bike that they got for Savannah has training wheels.
Okay.
Okay. Mackenzie knows no fear. She's 3, and she will ride the bikes. Now, the problem with regifting it once again is that Jack is a boy, and he might not want to have a pink bike.
Okay, what about Mackenzie though?
Well, see, like I told you, they have a 2-wheeler that they bought for Savannah.
Okay.
Okay? I bought Savannah the big wheel, which
Well,
I thought was...
we'll see how.
You can probably
Jack-
donate it.
We'll see how Jack identifies. Now, maybe we'll see.
Jack won't have a choice.
Oh, okay.
Wait, did you go pick up the bike in person?
Yeah, it was
Did
weird.
they ask any questions? They're like, hope your
Dude,
kids enjoy
it
this.
was weird. I got there and it was like this woman, and she didn't even come to the door. She sent her kids. I like there's these like 2 9-year-olds. Like, hey, you here for the bike? And I was like, Yeah, and they just folded them. And he was like, outside of the house, they gave them the money. And
I think that's good. It's important for kids to learn how to sell things on the internet.
yeah, it was kind of weird that she sent her children to do it. I was like, okay, thanks. And now I have.
Just probably like you can't get a new bike until you conduct the sale. So
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
going to learn how to post this on the marketplace and
Yeah.
meet a stranger.
You could probably resell it for
I
15
think,
bucks.
yeah, I think we're going to resell it. I think that's what's going to happen. But it worked good as a comedy bit, though.
You should
Even though
pose
you
with
fell.
it for scale.
Yeah, so it was show you how tiny it is. And, so that's why that bike was there, in
Okay.
case you thought that was strange or something.
No, I thought maybe somebody had a kid.
Oh, well.
Can I ask a question about the movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
So what's like the main conflict of the movie? Like what's like the sad part in the
Well,
middle?
the part that he's going to buy out her small business.
Okay, so she doesn't know that when she starts talking to him?
She doesn't know he's the guy she emailed.
Yeah, by coincidence, he comes into the bookstore.
Yeah.
With
So she's having this emotional affair with a stranger. And you know what they discuss?
What?
They discuss him in real life. And so she keeps telling him how much she dislikes this who happens to be the same guy. And they arrange to finally meet. And when he shows up and he looks in and he realizes, oh my, oh my.
so then he stands her up, but like
Like
comes
he
in
knows.
there. Yeah.
That's right. He stands her up, and then he shows up anyway to have a cup of coffee. You can't sit there. I'm waiting for someone, and he knows that she's waiting for him.
Because there's been no photos. They don't know what they look like.
No.
No.
See,
No.
they also conduct it like an affair where it's like no names, no personal information.
It does seem weird, yeah.
Yeah, it's like very, it's just, but, we've all had emotional affairs. Right?
Why are you looking at me for? Not
I
me.
know.
Are you conflating crushes with an affair?
No, I don't know. It's cool.
It's like we've all talked to strangers off the internet
Yeah, we've all, yeah.
in a
that's-
chat room.
That's what a dating app is. You do it as a complete stranger at then.
Now you can find out a lot more information about people.
Yeah, it's way easier to Google people. That's
I will tell you, one time I was gone for a week. And usually when I kind of unplug, leave my computer at home and I didn't do that this time. So I come back and I have this email. It says, welcome to match.com. And I said, oh, this is crap. And I just kind of blew it off. And then it comes back again. We have a match for you. And I said, what match? So I clicked on it. This is kind of weird. This guy was an educator, which is what I do. I teach. And so was an educator. He was retired. And one of the things he likes to do is go hiking in the Blue Ridge, which is also something that I like to do. And I went cold. And I was going, what is this? And all of a sudden, every day, my inbox, we found more matches for you. And because so for a little while, I said, who are these matches? Weird. I remember this one guy he says, I really don't like to cook or clean. And I'm going, well, good luck in finding a woman. That's a great opening line, don't you think? So finally, I sent them a message. I emailed them. I said, listen, I don't want to hear from you anymore because pretty soon I was going to have to start paying. And I was going, I didn't order this. So finally, I just didn't know. And I just felt so violated. You really if you're going to go out on a dating app or something, you're really putting yourself out there. I know you're kind of hoping that you don't put too much, just enough to get somebody interested, and maybe you can go. But for me, first of all, I was not interested. I mean, I'm married, and so I was going into this. I just really felt very violated. Finally, my daughter found a number that I could call, and I talked to this really nice lady in Thailand, and I said...
okay.
She said, and she started laughing. I said, how did this happen? She said, anybody who has your phone number or an email address or a birth date can do this.
Okay,
They can
I
just-
didn't do this, by the way. That wasn't a prank of mine.
No, I really feel with all my heart that it was a prank of somebody. Otherwise, I wouldn't. And so many people that I got retired Air Force pilots. And my husband flies a plane, and I'm just going, this is really weird. Anyway, I got out of it, and she said, we won't charge you. You're sure you don't want to do that? I said, oh my goodness, no, I've been married for, 30 years. And then she started laughing. She said, okay, not a problem. And so I kind of got out of there, but it just really opened my eyes. I had a sister at the time who was going through Match.com. She was going through all sorts of guys. And I was just going, well, how can you do that?
He's pretty cool. He's also cool. Yeah, so.
I guess I'm not cool.
Well, I have standards, of coolness, and it's
So You've Got Mail is not. There's a lot of things, but I suspect the producers were just looking for something like, we're not going to get too deep here. We're not going to get too deep under the surface.
Yeah.
So when you discuss, it's just supposed to be something pretty shallow, just,
Feel good rom-com.
yeah, just, Sleepless in Seattle, if you've seen that, the same type of thing. You could probably pick that apart and say, I don't know. But in the context of the time,
Right.
in, what is that, 20 years ago or 30, however.
25 or so, 20.
I don't,
25,
okay, well,
24.
maybe, just
I don't know.
Hallmark. Do you ever watch Hallmark movies?
Do we?
Okay, same type of thing. Just, girl meets boy, and they just really dislike each other. Usually it's a girl that hates a boy, but finally he's just such a nice guy, and he just has her best. And then the next thing, and there's no immorality. There is no vulgarness. There's no cussing. There's no any of that. Everybody just is just really wonderful. Leave It to Beaver, Walton
shucks.
family, Andy and Mayberry, everybody go. It's that kind of thing. So it was meant to be shallow. I suspect the producers would not want to know that we're tearing it apart and saying, hey.
Well, and they both had they're in relationships, right?
Yes.
Did they leave their partners?
Yes, they end up leaving their
Right?
partners.
Yeah, wow.
Greg Kinnear goes out to dinner with Meg Ryan, and he says, hate to tell you this, but he's already fallen for another girl. And he said, I'm really not in love with you. And Meg Ryan says, that's interesting because you know what? I really don't love you either. Yeah. And so they just, good friends, off they go.
Oh, wow. Huh.
And so the same thing happens to Tom Hanks. She does something and then he can't stand, and so they go away. So now, voila, they're both free. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, it worked out, I guess.
Yeah, I think her reaction when he's like, I don't love you, and she's like, I don't love you either. I'm like, I don't think she would have had that reaction, because even if you don't love someone, hearing that they don't love you, it makes you mad. So
I mean, supposedly they've had this relationship. You don't move in with somebody without some kind of connection.
Especially in 1998.
Right.
Say that was less commonplace then, I would think.
Right,
Without at least an engagement first.
Yeah, I lived at home.
Get that she's a big city girl, but...
Yeah, I was living at home in 1998, so I wouldn't know. Right.
What would you say is your favorite movie from the late
really
90s?
Ask you your favorite movie.
Yeah.
I just threw this movie at you. I didn't think you could come up with your
When did Moonstruck come out?
80s.
Is that 80s?
Yeah, that's 80s. I vaguely remember seeing that, and that got awards.
Yeah, I don't know. Not really.
20 years ago, tell me some movies that came out. Was Schindler's List out?
That's a movie.
Feel good rom-coms?
Yeah, that's a movie you go with. Is Schindler's List.
What year? Let's see what year
I think
it
it
is.
was
Okay,
93, 94 is Schindler's List.
93.
Yeah.
93. To me, after I saw Schindler's List, I never wanted to see a Holocaust movie again, but I thought it was well done. I really like Ralph Fiennes. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
I thought he played a great, great role. Okay, well, I'm trying to remember the movies,
guys.
okay?
Great Nazi.
I'm trying to remember the movies that I might have seen.
Well,
You probably were you had young kids at the time, so you were probably seeing a lot of...
I know every single Disney movie.
Yeah, I was going to
In
say
fact,
you're probably...
when I was teaching at that time, I would bring up, do you remember the scene in The Lion King? Or do you remember the scene in this movie? And so finally somebody said, you must do nothing else but watch movies. And I said, they're all Disney movies. So,
That was the Disney Renaissance.
Yeah.
Forrest Gump.
Yeah, you like Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
I was surprised that somebody said, I hated that movie. It was so boring. I never watched it. And I said, oh my goodness. No, it was I thought it was a good movie. He
Was
kept
that
remaking
94?
himself.
I think so. Yeah.
Yep, it is.
That
I'm
was a
good.
Tom Hanks movie too.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I love, I haven't seen all of his movies, and I think I've seen a couple of them I didn't even like, but he was wonderful in Mr. Rogers, the neighborhood.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
cried all the way through that movie. That he really did such a wonderful job with that. And I liked it because it was about Mr. Rogers, the story that he told. I really did like that. But that was more recent. But Forrest Gump was a good movie. I did enjoy that.
Good Will Hunting. You like
Oh, she doesn't like that movie because it's too vulgar.
I hated that movie.
Doesn't like potty mouth.
The Truman Show. You seen that movie?
I didn't see that
No,
one.
I think
Did
I
we
told
see
you.
what
Yeah, I think you said it was sad. That's what his whole life is, a TV show.
Right. Oh, yes, I did see that one. That was a sad movie.
It was pretty sad.
However, he broke out of it at the very end, right?
Yeah.
It was. All of a sudden, it finally hits him. But I'm going. But everybody, the whole audience is just cheering for him, and the producer's trying to kill him off. Yes, that was a pretty good movie.
Have you read his book of short stories? Tom Hanks.
No, I
Oh,
didn't
I
know he
have
had
a
one.
copy of it. I got.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I guess I can lend that.
I really love to read, so
Yeah.
Are they good?
It's good.
Really?
Yeah,
I
he's
thought
really,
you meant.
he wrote it.
Yeah,
Yes,
he
you
wrote
wrote
it.
it.
You're right,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, I have a copy
It's
of
a
it. at
collection
my
of
house.
short stories he wrote.
We
Yeah,
said that. I thought you were talking about me.
Yeah.
If you read my short stories.
no.
I don't want to read
they were
your
not
short
short.
stories.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
they're really good. He's a really good writer.
Really, I did not know that.
He's multi-talented. Yeah. No, I really like Tom Hanks because my dad taught in the like community college system for like really long time, and he wrote an article for the New York Times about the importance of the community college system and how he went to community college and how he wouldn't be where he is if he hadn't had the opportunity to like do that.
Tom Hanks went to community college. Wow, that's pretty interesting. Where did your dad teach at community colleges?
In North Carolina at Richmond Community College in North Carolina.
I taught at Thomas Nelson, which is down in is that in Hampton?
Yeah.
Hampton, Virginia. I taught there for quite a while.
Yeah. But yeah, he's worked with a lot of like first generation college students and people like that. But yeah.
What did he teach in computers?
Yeah, computers and like business math and things like that. But he's in charge of their distance learning. So yeah, he's written an app for the school and stuff. So
Beautiful.
yeah, it's really cool. But yeah, that it was a New York Times article. I'll find it and send it. It was probably from a long time ago at this point, but yeah, I'll try
I
and
think
find it.
community colleges are wonderful.
Yeah.
For so many reasons. I had a lot of students like who got into like William and Mary or UVA who never would have gone to those colleges coming out of high school.
Yeah.
But they did well at community colleges, and voila, they did well when they moved in. And I think that's the whole purpose for the community
That's the
college.
story of her son.
Yeah.
Who couldn't get
And
in.
Tom Hanks, well, it's a really cool article too, just about like the importance of like having access to like education at like all walks of life and stuff. So after I read that, I was like, oh, like I'm even like more of a fan. Like this is a really cool, insightful. And then I was like, if he actually like wrote this and then just tell someone, he's like a pretty good writer, and so I believe he wrote the whole thing. And then when a short story things came out, I said I was interested in it, and like my mom ended up getting it for me for Christmas because she also
that's
loves
really
it.
nice.
Yeah,
I
I
have
met
not
him one
heard that.
time. He is like as nice as
You've met him?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Was that at the Kennedy Center?
Yeah, he
The
was.
honors?
The honors. He was one of the honorees. So yeah,
Where
I met him.
I told you she used to work at the Kennedy Center. So
Yeah.
I thought it was that's another true story. I get an email from my son, and he says, hey, Mom, he said, Hamilton is coming up. He said, in August, and the tickets go on sale on such and such a day. He said, I won't be in town. You'll have to log in and get those tickets. Do you think you could, see about getting those tickets? Because I won't be able to do it. Plus, You have more money than me.
I was going to spend money on the Hamilton tickets. Like, come on. We know those price ranges. Like,
Was this the first time Hamilton came to DC?
I think so. Yeah, it was like, what,
Yes.
2018?
What a
was that-
miserable time in my career that was.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it was horrible. Yeah, the first Hamilton on sale. Yeah. Oh my God.
Well, I logged on. I get up early in the morning, and he told me to log on early, and I'm doing my morning routine. I'll get on about 8 o'clock. I get online, and I'm like 7,500 people in line. And
Oh,
they
that was actually a really good placement.
So, and I'm going, oh my, well, I'm leaving the house at 11. Hopefully it'll go down. And they said, you can just turn off and we'll get back in touch with you when your turn in line comes in. I said, I don't trust that. So I just kind of left it up there, did nothing else, went around, then I had to leave the house at 11. And now I'm down to like 4,200. And I'm going, this is not good. But I volunteer every Wednesday afternoon. So off I go. And I said, I got home at 3 and we are down to like 2,300. My husband is out of town. And so at 7 o'clock, he calls me and I said, I am so sorry, honey. I can't talk to you. I'm 2 in line and I'm not leaving. So then I get online and I decided I would buy 3 tickets. So I'll bring my husband along with and we'll all go see Hamilton. The tickets, to get 3 tickets together, oh my goodness. There's a difference between what you can afford and what you want to spend money on. And I'm looking at this and I said, he would kill me if he knew how much money I was going to spend. It just didn't make sense. It was like close to $2,000. And I was just going,
For 2 hours of a production?
I really liked Hamilton. Martin had given me the CDs and I had listened to it and it was funny. I teach about Alexander Hamilton. I just really, really enjoyed it and I said, well, go see it. I just could not find 2 seats together. They were too expensive. I finally went to an afternoon matinee on your birthday, I think, as I recall.
Very close
And we
to it,
found
yeah.
2 good seats and they were relatively affordable. And I said, sorry, honey, you have to stay home. Martin and I are going up to the Kennedy Center to see Hamilton.
Yeah.
And so we left. We left that morning. Is going to be plenty of time. There was an accident on 95. And the closer I was getting to Washington, D.C., the longer it was going to get me. He said, I can't believe this. We're going to miss this show. So I was just going, oh. But we made it.
Yeah.
And we had great
Great.
seats, and it was a wonderful show. And I had never been to the Kennedy Center before.
Yeah.
It was just really cool. We drove in, and I said, I need handicap parking. And so they put us, it was right next door to the door that went into.
In the Opera House?
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, it was the Opera House.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
amazing.
it was a wonderful show, and it was exciting for me to be at the Kennedy Center. And right next door is the Watergate Hotel.
Oh, yeah.
Now that means nothing to anybody, but I remember the Watergate. And I was going, how cool is that?
Hey, we can't. We just looked up. You go to the Deep Throat parking lot. It's in Arlington. You can check out where you met Deep Throat. It's also an attraction you can check out.
Just us in a parking lot?
Yeah, it's like a regular parking garage.
We're really here.
It's called the Deep Throat parking garage. They named it after the guy. So
That's okay.
okay.
I know there's a lot of things.
But
Yeah.
we're seeing 6 tomorrow at
Oh,
the
nice. I really want to see the 6.
Yeah, at the Nashville Theater.
I don't work there anymore, so I can't just run downstairs and try and buy my
What's
ticket.
6? What?
It's
It's
a
called
pop
Six.
musical about the wives of King Henry VIII.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know until I heard it advertised it was a musical. I just thought it was a play.
Yeah.
He
it's
said,
new.
can we go do that? Which
I thought you would like it. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It did really well in London.
Yeah. It's
Obviously, the pandemic impacted like when they could.
I bet it would have done. I mean, that's their history.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. The pandemic impacted like Broadway, obviously.
The
but-
sad thing about it is that what else do you know about Henry VIII?
I guess nothing. It's a lot of wives.
I know he had gout.
He was
But as a king,
that guy.
that's the king, you know?
He killed Sir Thomas More. Right?
Yes,
Yeah.
he did do that.
Kenneth Branagh play Henry VIII in a movie.
I don't know. You have to look
I don't
that
know.
up, Graham. But I guess so. You're saying we should know more about him, or
I don't, even when I teach him, I know more about his wives than I know actually He was supposed to be king. You know?
Well, I guess like the important thing to know about him is what the Catholicism and then the Church of England
Yes.
and like that was when it became like a Protestant nation because the Catholic Church would not let him
wouldn't let him get his divorce that he wanted.
Yes.
And that was a political decision.
Yeah.
You know, that was, you know.
And
My
so
business elsewhere.
Yeah.
It's Protestant, right?
yeah, and so when Mary, like Bloody Mary, restored it to the Catholic Church, like when Elizabeth took the throne because she was the daughter of Anne Boleyn and she was born like Protestant.
Mary was the daughter of Anne Boleyn.
No, Mary was the daughter of Catherine of Aragon.
You're right. Catherine of Aragon.
Yeah.
And she was brought up Protestant. But actually, she killed more Catholics than Mary killed Protestants.
Yeah.
But Mary is one who's known as Bloody Mary.
Yeah. So she restored it to like a Protestant rule at the time. So that like greatly impacted people fleeing to be able to practice there.
Yeah, and she got rid of Mary, Queen of Scots.
So all that plus pop, basically.
Like that, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, we could dance too. So, yeah, that's tomorrow. But yeah, cool. Anyway, I guess we're just about done here. What? 45. Okay, we'd like to do this thing. If you can summarize the movie in 1 minute. You think you can do that?
You've got mail.
Wait, not yet. I have to set
He'll
the
hold the clock up.
Yeah, I have set the timer.
I didn't know.
I have set the timer first. Okay. Go.
You've Got Mail is a story about two individuals. One owns a family bookstore, and the other one owns is building a very big bookstore. Unbeknownst to each other, they are also our friends on email. And You've Got Mail concerns the emails that they write to each other. And most of the time, they are complaining about him, but they don't know that him is the person who owns a big bookstore. And they end up falling in love.
30 seconds.
Who knew? I have 30 seconds
Yeah, it's
more.
a minute.
Okay. So they end up kind of falling. He's the antagonist and she's the protagonist. And so they kind of sort through all of this. And he tries to paint the owner of the bookstore as a nicer person, which he actually is. And in the long run, she ends up believing him. And I'm not sure why. The movie ends up they're kissing. So it all worked.
All right. You did it.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, cool.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
The
So,
best one.
I think
Yeah,
that was the best
yeah.
one.
yeah, yes, you did it. So,
Yeah, we need a teacher on the pod.
yeah, it's know your stuff. But,
Yeah, I'm sorry. I probably talked too much.
No, you're
No,
great.
I think you're
an excellent guest.
yeah, you're better. We don't have much guests, but
Oh, we went to see, I really do feel bad about this. This afternoon, we went to Lincoln's Cottage. I don't know if you've been there
Oh,
or not.
I took my dad there.
oh,
Yeah.
shit,
Did he
yeah.
like it?
Well, we were kind of disappointed that there wasn't any of the original furniture because it was in the White
There
House.
was no furniture.
Yeah.
There's
Wait,
nothing.
where's Lincoln's Cottage?
It's,
You remember where me and Charlie used to live?
it's like
Yeah, yeah.
right
It's like
by
across
there.
the street there, I think.
Yeah.
The gated thing. Yeah,
Where
yeah.
the soldiers' hospital is or retired soldiers. So I went and, he starts out this our tour guide was a little patronizing, maybe condescending. He says, I like to start out.
She keeps asking questions though. Like every time.
How many-
She was like, actually, this is
Stop. So he says, how much you know about Lincoln? Okay, well, I've taught the Civil War. I've taught a lot about Lincoln. So, and I don't know, I'm not the Lincoln expert, but scale of 1 to 10, maybe 8. And Martin, says maybe 6 or 7. Well, what he doesn't tell us is that, I'm on a 3. And so he gives us this tour, and I'm sitting there going, wait a minute here. And so I start asking him questions, just can we get to the subject and get to the reality, because some of the stuff that he was saying was not accurate. And I had this thing
Yeah,
about
see,
paying
yeah.
attention to details,
Yeah,
please.
well.
And then I'm talking to myself, I think, you really need to shut up because this is not. So when we're leaving,
What I was saying.
I said, I know that. And when I'm leaving, I said, Wesley, I said, you did a very good job today. He said, really? This is my first day as a tour guide. And I'm going, okay. I said, well,
yeah.
I hope you didn't take offense. He said, oh, no, we encourage questions.
Yeah.
And I said,
Yeah,
okay,
I'm sure
good.
they say that.
What did you teach
I
specifically
teach
in history? Yeah.
I teach
what time period?
Well, I've taught like world history
Okay.
before, and I've taught both parts, dealing from the cavemen right up until the Protestant Reformation. But my favorite part is teaching from the Protestant Reformation onward.
Yeah.
I just absolutely love that. I love going into the Industrial Revolution.
Right, Martin Luther, right? He nailed the thing on the door.
Right? He actually didn't do that, even though I do tell them that they did. He did that, and I really like getting into World War II. Now, the last couple of years, and this is my last semester teaching, and the last couple of years I've been teaching American history, and I've been picking it up with the Reconstruction through. Once again, that's my favorite area because I really like about the Cuban Missile Crisis. I go into the Civil Rights era. I really have done in the last recent years, really gone into Indian, Native American affairs, which hardly anybody does. We
Museum
did.
today also.
Yeah, we did go.
Yeah, we went there.
Yeah,
today
that's the first
also.
time, and they had a nice exposure about the boarding schools, and that was something that's only been coming out the last 5 or 6 years. So I've really been pushing that in my classes. I want them to know, even civil rights. I mean, everybody knows about the lunch counters, but there's so many individual stories that have happened. When I bring those out, we don't have very many African Americans at Christopher Newport University, but there are at the community college.
Yeah.
I want them to know, I mean, these are the people who open the doors for you. You are at school because of these people, and you kind of owe them a debt of gratitude. And so there's a lot I really, really do enjoy getting into that stuff.
Yeah.
So
Well, this is a historical house, actually. Like, journalists from, like the 20s. You're in a magazine here. They're like progressive journalists.
muckrakers.
Yeah, so like,
it was like early like American socialism, like New
Yeah.
Deal era.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
A lot of,
okay.
like,
So-
the sort of thinking
Yeah.
behind it happened
Herbert
here.
Hoover was like in this house.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I read a book about
Love that.
Herbert Hoover, and
I didn't realize he was
mentioned
socialist.
It's called the House of Truth, and it was in the
Yeah.
book. It said the House of Truth.
Yeah,
And I sat there to Graham. I was like, "Hey, they're talking about the house."
Yeah, there's a book about this house and stuff.
Yeah, so it's
Wow.
like we're
Yeah,
actually.
yeah. Pretty
Yeah,
interesting.
so what we're doing here has been done. They've had enlightened conversation.
It was a big socialist movement in the 20s. Dorothy Day was involved in that, and just all sorts of things,
Yeah.
Yeah, so
That's really cool.
anyway. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
fun stuff. This was
yeah.
the ballroom. This is
yeah,
where we
this
ball.
used to be-
Wow.
Yep. Now
No, we ball.
we pause.
So this original house, though.
They renovated it so that the kitchen back there was once a courtyard and stuff like that.
Okay.
And it was kind of gone to ruin when her dad moved in and renovated it. So
That's really cool. Yeah, there's so many like cool places. Like when I was looking for a condo,
Oh,
one
yeah.
of the places I saw the first female congresswoman that was like her. Like
oh right, what area
Yeah.
was that?
what?
What area was that in?
It was in like Adams Morgan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. I think around here there was a lot of like.
Yeah, it was I was like, oh, that'd be really cool. But yeah, to preserve the historical integrity, like there are like more rules and stuff with the place. And I was like, I don't really think for practicality, as much as I love the idea of this, this is great.
we
But
just closed our first condo.
yeah.
She owns property
Yeah,
now.
property
Wow,
owner.
good for you. And
Yeah.
you told me where she worked.
I work at the National Park Foundation.
Oh, that's right. It's in marketing, right?
Yeah, this podcast does not represent the views of the National Park Foundation. Or,
Yeah, don't worry.
That's out.
And this podcast does express the views of the census or Arlington Public School
Arlington Public School,
or Christopher Newport University.
especially not Arlington Public Schools.
Yeah, especially not
Early American
Yeah.
socialism.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
closed, yeah.
where, it's a good time.
Yeah, I closed on Friday. So yeah,
Just
yeah.
go it.
I
So-
was up until actually signing the papers. I was like, something's gonna happen. The bank is gonna be like, no.
Well, good for you. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Where's it at? Where's the condo?
It's in Columbia Heights.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
on
wow.
Park. It's like behind
Okay,
the
I've been
coop.
there.
Yeah. Pretty
We
fun.
gotta record there. We gotta do this.
Yeah, we'll have to.
Yeah, once
It's
you-
a house. You bought a house?
It's a condo. Yeah,
Condo,
it's in
okay.
a building with like 6. It's one of 6 units in a building. So
Excellent.
yeah, it was converted in 1960. So it was a house at one point. Yeah. So
Excellent.
kind of cool.
My mom checked out my attic today, so that's where I'm at. Anyway, we've been just tracking on. So I think this is it. I think we're gonna finish. So thanks for doing this, Mom.
Yeah,
I
thanks
think
for
we had a
having
good time.
pod.
Yeah. Okay. See you guys next time. Right?
Yeah, see you next time.
Thank you so much for having me. It was great meeting all of you.
Oh, believe.
Oh, man.